So I want to make a video about Harry Potter and the Crimes of Grindelwald because I watched it yesterday and I have a lot of feelings about it. So this is going to be completely full of spoilers, so don't watch it if you haven't seen it yet, or if you want to wait and watch it again, because I need to watch it a second time, because honestly I don't want to say that it was awful, but it was a headache, especially the first scene when Grindelwald escapes. It was confusing, it was dark. I'm so glad I didn't see it in 3D because my brain was hurting. I love Harry Potter, the books, the films, but this was just a fan fiction gone wild, as was The Cursed Child, which I have seen on stage, but that is a whole different mess. We're talking about this mess. So from the very beginning, I'm fed up. It was just unnecessary. It was so dark. The Thestrals were really cool. So whatever, that bit happened. My main issue is the major plot twist. So at this point, you shouldn't watch this video if you haven't seen it yet. I am bothered by, the main things I'm bothered by: plot twist, I'm bothered by Nagini, I'm bothered by, even before the film came out, the fact that they told us who Nagini was, and all of the hype about her. For what did she actually do? She was just a comfort to Credence, and she was just scared in a few scenes and gave him a few hugs, but what the fuck was the point of Nagini in this film? Why was there so much hype? The only thing that will make me feel better is if the second film, the third film, is about Nagini entirely, because she was just a waste. She was a waste. I don't know. I feel so sorry for the actress. She has to be in all of those scenes in that skimpy dress. She must have been freezing. But in my opinion, she's just another disposable character, as this film is full of disposable characters. My other problem was Lita, Lestrange, which she's been hyped up. Just like super hyped up. Okay, I had to turn it off, so now the angle is different. Sorry about that. But Lita Lestrange, what a wasted opportunity. Oh my god. So the whole film, her backstory is told, and they're trying to make you feel a connection to her. And how she was tortured, and she was just a bad girl at school, all of that. And Newt's love interest stuff, all of that. To be killed in the first film, what was the point? Why make us grow an attachment to her just to dispose of her instantly? It would have been so much more interesting if she joined Grindelwald in the fire and like pledged allegiance to his cause. I am really bothered by the fact that they just got rid of her after all the promo and all of the hype. She was kind of an interesting character, but I personally didn't think that she was wicked enough. She had so much opportunity. I wish she was more on Bellatrix's level, not of insanity, but just cruel. I just quickly want to add in about Lestrange being wicked. In the confrontational scene with Dumbledore, when she's like, I knew you didn't like me because I was bad, the only flashback we saw of her was her retaliating to those two bullies from Gryffindor or wherever they were from. I don't think that was bad. I think that was her reacting to them being bad to her. It would have been cool to see her just being spiteful for no reason and to really show her wickedness. I feel like that was such a wasted opportunity that they could have just gone in with, but they didn't. There's so much that they could have done with her. She could have been so bad. Like, if you're gonna kill her off, make her the baddest bitch. Like, she could have done so much shit at Hogwarts, and you show one scene of her getting rid of someone's mouth. And her whole story of her creation was a joke. The whole thing of swapping Credence with a Dumbledore is just a mess. Why was Dumbledore in the hospital or whatever? Where, I don't even understand what that place was where they, before they got the boat. Where was that? The whole movie, I fell in love with who I later found out was Rosia, I don't know how to say it. It was when she's the one who's by Grindelwald's side the whole time, and she lures Queenie. She finds Queenie when Queenie has that little breakdown thing. I loved her, but the whole time I was straining to hear what her name was. I have just given up to the fact that I was just going to watch this film and not know who she was until the credits, but then at the credits they wanted to clean, so I couldn't stay. I watched like the animated credits, but I like to stay through the whole credits of the black and white credits, but I had to leave. So I came home, and today I was researching to find out who she was, because there's just so many characters that are just introduced to die or to not be seen again, like Cruel, the character of Cruel, the Asian guy who also burns in the fire because he's not fully on Grindelwald's side. He was an interesting character, but there was no depth to him. He was just annihilated and he was in a few scenes, and what was the point of him? As there's so many characters, I feel like, what was the point in any of them there? And this film, Newt annoyed me quite a lot as well. I did like him in the first film, but I feel like Eddie's just made him a bit too introverted and weird. I don't know. He's a weird character because he's like the nerd, but he also is really skilled and talented, clever wizard. It's just a weird juxtaposition. I don't know about him. I loved his younger actor in the throwback to Hogwarts. He looked just like him, but then Lita's actress didn't look like her at all. It looked like someone else. When she was younger and in the baby swap scene, she looks just like the older actress, but the in-between, the middle actress, who was she? I have so many problems. Why is Minerva at Hogwarts? The timeline doesn't match up. It's just this. I could go on about this film for like half an hour. Why is Minerva at Hogwarts with Newt? It just it causes me pain. There's so much stuff. I hate Albus. I think he's my main problem with the whole film is Albus, because who the fuck was he? He was not Albus Dumbledore. The only link to Dumbledore was how he just threw Newt into a mission and then disappeared. That is just like Albus. But character-wise, I wanted to see the romance between Grindelwald and Albus, and I feel like it was lacking, apart from the Mirror of Erised for like a brief second with the Blood Pact. And I feel weirdly about the Blood Pact also. But it's just, I want the flamboyance and the strangeness of Albus. Why was he in a muggle suit the whole bloody time? I just have so many feelings about this. Albus was just a mess, in my opinion. I hate the act. I don't think that he should have been played by Jude Law. I don't really like Johnny Depp as Grindelwald. Young Grindelwald was amazing. I wish older Grindelwald was like that. Why was Dumbledore teaching Defense Against the Dark Arts and not Transfiguration? I don't know. And why was the Boggart scene just a rip-off of Remus Lupin's class? They could have brought in Lita's letter, I don't know how to say her name, Lestrange's fear, differently. I just feel like it was a complete rip-off of that scene with Remus. There's so many other ways you could have told that story. The only shining star in this for me was Rosia, and I didn't even know that she was a Rosia until I researched it. And Queenie, I love her character development and how she has gone over to the dark side, and I hope that she stays there. Tina annoys me to no end. I wish she would have burnt in the fire, but that's a different story. I'm kind of over Jacob as well. I feel like he's the comic relief he is brought in to make the darkness lighter. I wish that Leta would have actually murdered her brother or whoever it was, instead of like the swapping and the boat scene. Like, where is that actually supposed to take place? What country is that? It's just so messy. I just wish she would have left the Lestrange's story just alone, and Albus was just the whole Dumbledore Phoenix situation. I'm hoping is a lie and is to get Credence on the side to defeat Dumbledore, Albus Dumbledore. But if it turns out that Credence is genuinely a Dumbledore which we've never heard of before, which fucks with the whole story of Ariana and Aberforth, it's just a mess. So I really hope that Grindelwald is lying to Credence and he just doesn't know who Credence is. And also at this point, I don't care who Credence is. Like, halfway through the film, it felt so dragged out. I was like, at this point, I just don't even care who Credence is. I have lost any... He was my favourite character last film. The tortured soul, the obscurial, it was amazing. But it's just dragged out. I just don't care. And then Nagini is just with him. The circus could have been so much more. I know it's a Fantastic Beasts film, but all of the beast parts just are thrown in for CGI and 3D, the 3D wow effect. I mean, and to save the day when Newt can't get out of stuff, but it's so predictable at this point, and I'm over it. Like, the design of those characters was really cool. The Zozo or whatever it was called, awesome, funny with the little bell, but tired. Like, how many times is a beast gonna save the day? It's gonna just keep happening. I don't like the little pick thing. I don't know what it's called, the green thing that always unlocks the doors and magically saves everybody. I don't know, I just feel like at this point J.K. Rowling was so carried away. She's just killing off, introducing to kill off, introducing to kill off. And there's no depth to these characters. We could have really got somewhere with Leta, like, it could have gone really cool. Why was Nicholas Flamel like this shuffling corpse man? That was just odd. Why does he have to come, like, why was he in the film at all, and why does he show up at the big battle at the end? Overall, I just think it was a massive mess. It was a headache. There were so many things introduced that didn't need to be there, only to be disposed of instantly. I have hopes that it was just so messy so that they can go in more depth with these characters in later movies, because there's no way Nagini is just, like, what even happened to her at the end? She gets saved off at the end and then you don't see her again. So how does Dumbledore acquire her? What is that all about? Why is she even, I don't know what they called her, but a shapeshifter? Why is that even a thing? I really feel like JK should have just gone with that fan theory that in this book, the snake that Harry talks to or sees at the zoo, whatever, is Nagini. That would have been such a nice tie-in with the beginning of the series. I don't know. I just feel like J.K. Rowling's just so carried away, like, with the cursed child, and at this point she's just like someone who writes fan fiction, and as someone who roleplays or used to in the Harry Potter realm, she just feels like one of us on a crazy storyline and going off on tangents and creating OCs. It's just really, really bizarre. I don't see the appeal. I don't like the Dumbledore twist. I'll be interested to see how it carries out, but there was so much hype around this film, and Nagini and Lita in particular, and they were just wasted. And I feel like JK inserted so many people of colour just because of all of the backlash that she's had recently, so she just throws in all of these characters that we've never seen before, like the whole Yusuf storyline, which I still don't even understand. I don't understand that whole, I think they're called Kama family, and all of that with the guy who had a Lestrange wife and all the it's just so messy. It's just so messy, so much wasted opportunity. I will see it again because I feel like I need to process everything, and I did watch the last one about 3 times because a lot went on and because I enjoyed it. But for this one I feel like I have to watch it again to understand, and to actually watch it knowing who the characters are will be interesting to see if I feel any differently about it. But I can't bear to see the scene with the Thestrals again because it just gave me a fucking headache. Seeing Hogwarts was nice. It was nice to I got chills seeing the castle, and the familiar grounds and all of that. There was a weird parallel between Lily and Snape and Newt and Leta, which I didn't like. I don't really see the point of that. I think they were even in the same location on the lake. I don't know. I don't know what the whole point of building the romantic tension between Newt and Leta was, just to marry her off with Theseus and kill her. I don't understand. It's like they were building up her story so much. I thought she was going to be like a key role in this, to just die in the first film. I have a lot of feelings about this and I don't want to make this 40 minutes, but it was just a mess. It was just a mess. It was a mess. But I will see it again because I want to watch it again knowing that Grindelwald's bitch is Erosia, because I love that family bloodline. I was hoping that she would be someone from the pureblood noble families, so I'll watch again for her because she was suave. Like her outfits, that pantsuit, amazing. She was amazing. Queenie was amazing. I don't care for Newt's brother. I don't care for the guy who took over Newt's mission either. That was just a weird thing. Oh, another thing, final thing, the half-elf lady. She was such an interesting character and annihilated. I really wanted to see more of her story, especially being half-elf, half-witch. That's kind of crazy, but annihilated. It just reminds me of the final battle of the Deathly Hallows, when there's all the different Harrys and they're all flying and there's the war. That's what it felt like when everyone's just dying, like gone, Hedwig gone, like everyone's just gone. That's what I felt like in this film. It's like, who's gonna die next? Is Newt just gonna be killed off? At this point, maybe it would be more interesting if Newt was actually killed off. I don't know, maybe JK will make it happen, since she just loves to dispose of all of these characters and make us so excited for all of them, and release all posters of press posters spoiling who the characters are and then annihilate them all. I'm still so bothered by that poster of Nagini because it caused so much hype, controversy, spoiled the whole reveal. For what? For what? And it's so weird to think that Nagini kills Cerberus, but Nagini's actually a lady. It's just a weird. So Nagini serves Voldemort for the rest of her life. It's just really odd. I don't know. I have a lot of feelings, as always. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did you like it? I have some friends who adore Harry Potter. It's our life. We used to write together and their consensus is they didn't like it either and it was a mess. I would be interested to see if maybe people who aren't that familiar with the realm of Harry Potter are bothered, or if it's just like the severe fans who have an issue with it. It'll be interesting. Please discuss in the comments and I'll see you soon. So I just got out of bed, as always. and I want to do a video about Fantastic Beasts, the Crimes of Grindelwald, because I have a lot of feelings as a Potterhead. Harry Potter is... Oh, actually, I want my ring.